Namaste. Welcome to the first session of the second day. Hope you have all watched the two videos that we had given in the exercise section. It will not only give you information about the processed food, how it is made and all those. Also, it will help you in building these mindful snacking habits among your children. So now we are going to see the effects of junk food on body. Why do children crave for outside food more than home cooked food? We'll look into that. So what is craving? Craving is an intense and persisting desire. It's a strong desire for something. It could be anything, but here we are discussing food, so let's stick to the craving for food. But the good news is it's not negative. Craving for food is not negative at all. We'll see why and how. But the bad news is it's compulsive. Compulsive because you do not know when this becomes addictive. So we'll see the reasons for cravings. The first one, ingredients of junk food. We have already seen this on day one. That is fat, salt and sugar, the trinity and the MSG. Then the second thing is hormonal changes that are happening in our children, especially in the teenagers, that cause them to crave for the junk food, especially because that gives that high in their body which their body needs. The food images that they come across, it could be in the television or the internet or anything, a magazine or a pamphlet, so they get attracted and the craving for junk food increases in them. The fourth reason is influence by friends. Out of the 10 things that they discuss among themselves, food is the topmost thing. They are very much impressed or influenced by the food that their friends have. Maybe they go out and have it together, and that craving increases after this. Also because they boast of having certain type of food, and your kids, they also want to relate to that and they like to have those foods. So this is one of the reasons that kids get attracted to the junk food. Then the last thing is boredom, when they do not have anything to do or when they are happy or simply because of no reason they feel like having junk food.
Okay, now let's see what are the triggers for craving. So there could be many triggers, but then we have just highlighted few. There is something known as internal clock. We are not talking about the clock that is there on the wall, but the body itself is a clock. Of course, we all know this, don't we? So when we are hungry, it gives you a signal. When the bladder is full, it gives you a signal. So like this, the time for the craving is also an important phenomenon. Typically when you see the children have the food at, let's say, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock they are hungry for no reason. They are actually, the body is not hungry, but they have a craving of eating something. So it happens in the adults also, but more so in the teenagers, more so in the children it happens. Then the chemicals in the body or lack of them. What we mean by this is, now we already spoken about the dopamine. When the chemicals secrete in our body, that adds into the craving. They say that, okay, this is a time for you to have it, and then when there are certain chemicals missing in the body, that also needs for the eating something. You remember, like, you must have heard of the pregnant women eating mud, because that is a craving that they have at that point in time. Maybe because the body needs iron, it is not proven, but then the talks are like that. So this is also very similar to that there is something missing in them, could be a chemical that will ask them to eat something. And then emotions, these teenagers especially, they are full of hormonal changes. So this way they are happy, that another time they'll be very sad with something. So whenever their emotions play with them, they would like to indulge themselves with something eating. Then that happens to be typically the munchies, because they're very easy to access and for the reasons that we already discussed, and you know that, right? So due to the emotions also, the craving increases among the children.
So we'll see into 3 problematic eating behaviors of children. The first one is uncontrolled eating. As the name says, uncontrolled eating, there is no control in eating, and obviously that will lead to obesity. Then cognitive restraint. This is the complete opposite of the first one. Here, children, they tend to, especially the teenagers, they are in the mindset of controlling their weight, and in that phase they skip their meals. But the result of this is, when they skip the meal, the next meal that they have is much more than what they would have had if they had not skipped the meal. So that is one thing that also leads to obesity, but also the limiting behavior that they have towards not eating food makes them skinny. And the third thing is emotional eating. As he already told in the previous slide, that if they are happy, they go for food, this junk food. If they feel low or depressed, they feel like eating something, munching something, and then this results in poor self-esteem.
Now let us see the effects of junk food on the body. Let me have a disclaimer here. These are not typical to all the children, because only few children are known to have that much compulsive eating wherein they may develop this. But you will never know that whenever you have something from outside, some of the components present in the food can go and sit in the stomach, or maybe leave a trace in the stomach, which could be dangerous on a longer run for the human body. So the children are going to turn the teenagers and then adults. So early on in their life, if the food habits are not proper, then definitely they are going to face the music in the future. I know a friend of mine who is only 20-year-old. He's a techie. So he told me that he has a lot of constipation problem now, a lot of stomach issues basically. And then he got it checked. All the tests have been done, and doctor said there is no problem at all. But still, he faces a lot of problem with the stomach. Then I just happened to ask him what is the problem. So he said that when he was around 7 years old, and continuously for like 7-8 years, okay, till he was like 15-16 years of age, he used to eat this churmuri in the evenings almost every day, maybe more than 5 times a week, you can say. And that churmura had this chilies in it, and then some fried stuff in it, and because of which he started to face the problem now about the health, because that time, because the metabolism was quite good, you never felt anything wrong with your body then, but then now he started having it. So this could lead to any problem anytime in the future. So it is always better to nip it in the bud, and we have to control their food habits early on their age, so that they can build a better body for themselves. Now, talking about the effects of junk food on the body, apart from obesity, diabetes and BP, which are also called as lifestyle diseases, it can also cause memory and learning problems. High sugar in the food, high sugar and the fat, that can actually suppress the activity of brain peptide in a longer run, so they are not able to think properly, and then that addiction keeps on dragging them back into the addiction. More food requires more food. It's like that. The second one is, it also increases the risk of dementia. Higher level of insulin, because of the junk food, they make the insulin secrete or release very fast in the body. The brain stops responding, because when it's like a factory, right? The body is like a factory. When high level of insulin is already secreted, then more energy is required to digest the food. Then all the energy will be diverted there, and then brain would not have much of energy left to think about it. Probably that is why even we feel that whenever we have a binge eating in the marriages or in festivals, we feel drowsy and the brain needs rest, right? We feel sleepy and all. So this is all an automatic phenomenon. Just imagine that if a child is having junk food on a regular basis, what will happen to his brain, which is supposed to be very active. The junk food also lessens its ability to control the appetite, meaning the trans fat, especially the fried food, if you eat it, you will not know when to stop, because the sensation gives a mixed feeling to the brain. So you keep on eating it, you don't know when to stop. Even if you feel that you have had enough, again you will be hungry, or sometimes not without having much, you will feel full, again thanks to the ingredients of the junk food. Okay, and it can also lead to depression. Withdrawal symptoms can lead to the inability to deal with stress. Recently we had a seminar where we were talking about this, that it is not wise for the parents to take away the junk food if the children are having it on a regular basis, let's say 3 to 4 times or more a week. Then it is definitely not wise to take away the junk food or the munchies from them immediately, because it could have the same withdrawal symptoms as a drug or a smoking would have on the children. Sorry to say, but that is a fact, because the children are even more sensitive than adults. They don't know their good and bad. So when you take away something from them, then it will lead to the withdrawal symptom also. So addiction leads to withdrawal symptoms much later. It makes you impatient. You must have seen that the children whosoever is eating on a regular basis these munchies and all, naturally they are impatient because the body behaves that way. The body is not getting the food, the kind of sattvic food that it wants. That is why it gets impatient unnecessarily.
So now we'll see the difference between outside food and the home cooked food. We already know this, so I'll just go through this. I'll read it out. The outside food lacks nutrition, and home cooked food, it's rich in nutrition. We try to get everything in the food that we cook, all the nutrients as far as possible. Then the outside food, as it contains the trinity, so it has more calories, fat especially, and the home cooked food is balanced because we take care of it. And then the outside food is costly in more ways than one. It not only affects the health, but later on you have to pay more for the medical expenses, so that way it can be costlier. And here it's not cheap, but it's economical, the home cooked food. Then outside food, there are possibilities of allergies. We do not know what are the ingredients that go into the food, so there are chances that we may be allergic to some. But here at home, we can control, we exactly know what we need and what our body needs, and we can control the ingredients here. So the outside food, the first thing that is there in their mind is profit and not the health. But on the contrary, at home, our first preference is health. So the outside food is prepared under unreliable hygienic conditions. You would not have imagined the conditions that they maintain while cooking food in the kitchens in the restaurant outside. But at home, it's everything in our hand to maintain the hygiene. So when you go outside, as you pay for the food, you don't like to waste it. You overstuff yourself, or at least pack it and get it home and eat the food the next day or so, which is not very healthy habit to do. But at home, we can prepare as much as it is required and eat how much we want. So the outside food, as we already discussed, it's addictive, and home cooked food is conscious.
Talking about because you pay, sometimes you end up in overeating. It does not only apply to the food that is in the restaurant, also applies to the packaged food. Just imagine that you have just broken a chips packet, let's say a bigger one, and it is good for 2 people, and then one person is not there, only one person is there. And if you just let it be like that, then it will be soft and you don't want to have it again. So you end up having everything, because anyway it is open, then you want to have it. So the same logic applies everywhere. So end of the day, craving is not all that bad. It is quite natural for children to have it. It's just that it is bit addictive. So what we are trying to do here is to develop the mindful eating and the mindful cooking. Mindful eating in the people like children especially, because they cannot cook themselves, at least not like us. And also the husbands, the typical husbands who do not want to cook, but they are foodies and they want to eat the food at home. They have to inculcate a mindful eating, and that is possible only when there is a cook at home who is mindful of what he or she is cooking, and then through them this mindful eating is very much possible, and through that healthy lifestyle is on the way. So with that, we conclude this video, and we will jump into the next video very quickly.
Bye-bye.